Embers.
So, tricky song to kind of discuss this, really. I mean, we're probably not going to kind of outright talk about the deepness of everything, but
No.
it's safe to say that in the 4 years, well, now five and a half, that we started writing music, a lot has happened.
I have no idea what you mean.
And not necessarily. I mean, there's always ebbs and flows, ups and downs, but I don't find a need to write about things I'm happy about. I'll leave that up to other people. So this is a song where I just wanted to write about a topic. I just wanted to write about a theme. And it's the only time I've ever kind of gone into anything and gone, I want the song to be like this, because I actually made an attempt at writing the lyrics for this. To my credit, a couple of lines kept snuck their way back into it. But I was just like, I just kind of need to get what I'm feeling down into words, which is very, very unlike me. But it was a hell of a kind of low time. So I do that, and then musically, I can't remember the order in which this was written, but this basically has the same chords as Aridity. It uses the same chord structure, same harmonic structure. I know I wanted to write it in our time signature, so it's in 5/4.
Yep.
Well, the verses are in 5/4, the chorus is in normal time. Again, when you're going through a bad breakup, you find music, and I listen to nothing but Anathema non-stop. It's like they peeked into my soul and wrote exactly what I needed to hear at the time. So there's a lot of Anathema's kind of ballady tracks that inspired this. Not in any particular way, just kind of a vibe, kind of a feel. Not like I like that guitar riff or I like that chord sequence or that drum beat I'm gonna nick. Nothing really like that. And yeah, I really, really don't remember writing this song musically at all. I remember finding a patch that I liked and then writing the intro, and then after that, honestly, because everything was a little bit all over the place in my head at that point, I don't remember anything. All I remember was writing some lyrics, kind of making a tune and giving it to you and saying, don't be too hard on me, but can you kind of repurpose these?
Yeah.
And we did a version ages ago.
Yeah.
And then this one is probably the most recent one we re-recorded.
Yeah.
So, some point like early last year, we actually, you actually rewrote the lyrics again.
Yeah.
Which again, they still have the same core concept as such, or they still revolve around the same thing, and some of the lines kind of stayed the same, but there's other elements. Not that I want to take your take your comments away, but yeah, I just remember. I remember. I almost wrote it because I thought I'm going to write it what I think, and then I don't want this.
Yeah. I
don't want this at all.
Yeah.
Repurpose it. Do what you need to do.
Yeah. It's almost like you kind of like, take that, set that. I need to set it free. Almost kind of like you deal with that now. It's your problem.
Way too personal. Way too personal. I didn't want to be that personal in the lyrics. I thought, well, if you do it and you write it from an outsider's perspective, then it's not about me anymore. It's not me that's talking anymore. It's you interpreting. So yeah.
Yeah. And in the first iteration, it was in the third person, but over time, and the rewrite that we did last year, it's now in the first person. And ironically, it has become closer to what I'm kind of currently dealing with, which is fateful, some might say. But yeah, I just took what you gave me, really, and just kind of, I like that you say repurposed. Like repurposed it, essentially recycled it almost, just moved things around. There wasn't really any major significant changes. It was just kind of make this rhyme here, and when it went through the rewrite, the main change was the chorus. I couldn't get away from this sort of melody line in the verse, which is the victim bit. I just couldn't really step away from that. But the chorus, with the track being called Embers, there's a lot of like references to fire, and this album includes lots of like natural related stuff. If it's not to do with weather, it's to do with fire, rain. There's lots of like organic imagery in there. This one's it's got fire at its core. Haha, another fire reference there. There you go.
Was the title Embers always there?
No,
No,
it was something else, but we changed it. We binned it off and redid it again. So the chorus really, this spark between us ain't enough to start a flame. It's just in reference really to, even if there is some kind of emotion or tie, whether that's physical or emotional, between two people, sometimes it's just not enough to make it work. And that's where that kind of came from. This spark, sometimes it just isn't enough to start a flame. Sometimes a spark is just, it's just a spark. So yeah, there's not really too much for me to say on this one because you wrote it, most of it.
I think I was trying to be clever in hiding things, and there's a lot of, metaphors, which again some of them kept in, some of them didn't. But I think, music for me is definitely a cathartic experience. It's the only way I know how to process a lot of stuff. So it's kind of like, well, and I know I've mentioned this to you a few times. It's like you look back at it now and you go, do not feel or think that anymore. But it's nice to kind of capture that was where it was, and that's what happened. And I was watching a thing with Dave Grohl talking about writing Everlong about an ex-girlfriend, and I'm like, it's weird now, like hearing that song and like that's what caused it, or what if that didn't happen, that didn't happen. And again, everything happens for a reason, I guess. But Embers came out of something that wasn't very nice, and it's probably one of my favourite tracks. I love the kind of mid. Again, I'm not saying I love the guitar solo because I play the guitar solo, but I love the kind of mid section. It's just so it's just so kind of open and stuff like that. So good song, different song. It follows that kind of Infinite type of song, kind of a bit kind of chilled out, more electronic based. I think if a couple of these songs can be coupled together, Aridity and Persistence, and saying like Passenger, Pre-Persistence, then I think Infinite and Embers are kind of like brother sister. Although I talk about very different things, but musically related in some sense.
Agreed.
Oh